keep myself grounded, that's a piece of me that I won't let go. No matter what level I reach, I promise to hold it close. Ain't gotta tell me.
It's Madden NFL 24. And up next, we'll see Jalen Hurts. He's been sensational as he leads the league in touchdown passes. It's the Eagles and the Bears, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
Well, they say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. Set for football now on a sunny afternoon in the second city. And off we go from Soldier Field. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
They go play action with Hurts. He's got him in, complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. One play in the end zone on the long touchdown pass. You knew they wanted to get him involved. He's their go-to guy. First play, though, wow.
Yeah, and I remember when I was playing, something similar happened. I remember getting to the sideline and my coach said, so what in a scouting report with circling him, putting a star by him, did you not
What'd
get
you miss?
that he was a good player? And that's the question I would have for them now. You know, as you said, he's a go-to guy. How is he not covered? No, I should say, covered well.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And he'll take it just outside the 40. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. It's Devontae Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. They take a shot downfield there, but it lines up falling incomplete. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 52 yards. And the Eagles are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0.
Bears nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Nolan Smith in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. A give up the middle to Singletary. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell you...
Fields hit and the ball is loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Taking it about the 36. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And really, it's worth talking a little more about the stakes of this game. Currently, these are the top 2 seeds in the NFC. I think they're the 2 best teams. Would you agree?
I think you can definitely make the case that they are, and I like where you're going with that. I do know that we've seen a couple of...
And got his man complete. This is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually...
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 21-0.
Bears nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Play action. It's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And Mooney going to have a Bears first down as he'll be brought down at the 42-yard line.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Off play action. Fields. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Cole Kmet, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. You look at this Eagle defense. It's quite a unit. #1 in the NFL against the pass.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
Brings up third down and 9.
21-0 our score after one.
Score Eagles 21. Bears nothing.
Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on third down, Fields. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at the 18. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its...
Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 69 yards. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it is 28-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
On second down, here's a run with Singletary. They won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. They need 18 yards here on third down. Back to throw. Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Got you, boy.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Here comes the Bears punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. That's taken it around the 40. A solid stiff arm. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start. Got their feature guy.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Eagles open the lead up to 34-0. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes this 35-0 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Chicago offense set to get started. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders.
Fields hit and the ball is loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side, a little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles have taken a 6-touchdown lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Singletary to get the drive started. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here we go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Fields now to throw. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. On first down, it's Fields. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Buying time to under pressure again, and down he goes again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And take it right on the 30. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll start in the NFC East, a classic matchup here. Dallas visiting the Meadowlands, and that one closing in on halftime with the Cowboys out on top. The Cowboys looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Cooper Kupp, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou to check on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. In that game, all square as they take on the visiting Seahawks. The Eagles were led in the first half by their dynamic quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He had a half for the ages. Touchdown pass after touchdown pass. He threw a month's worth of touchdowns in just those first 2 quarters of play.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Bears offense set to go to begin the 3rd quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Right back to Singletary on second down. 4 yards the pickup, first down. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Miles Jack coming in from that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease. And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here comes the Bears punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Take it at the 37. It'll be a 39-yard punt, give them a good 10 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
This is 2nd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it. Airing it out deep for Smith. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles just continue to roll. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he fields it cleanly. Stays on his feet. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith.
Not a bad day at the office there. Maybe he would like the catch number to go up a little bit, but I think most guys would say 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. That's okay.
I think if the catch number goes up, we start talking about the record books, because at that pace, this type of efficiency, oh yeah, I think I'd throw it to him a little bit more often.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there, because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Playing success in this game already. 2 touchdown catches, but that was a very dangerous throw. But you have to understand, with 2 catches already for touchdowns, they're going to try and force it to him at times as well.
He's going to go up top again. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown. A big play there. 63 yards. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guys covering take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by them. And once he's by them, there's no catching them. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
Here we go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by James Bradbury. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having, because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
On 1st down, Hurts.
Touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown, 33 yards.
And the Eagles get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline, because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Elliott good with a PAT, and they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
Onto the field now come the Bears.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
Here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And oh, he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here's Fields.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Jordan Davis breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. This whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. It's fielded at the 45. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Wide receiver A.J. Brown. You see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
From the 43, here's 2nd down and 8. On the handoff, this is Swift.
4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind.
Fields hit and the ball is loose.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Fields.
He's going to let it fly. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he fields it at his own 45. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Elliott on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
From the gun, here's Fields. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by James Bradbury. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
That kind of puts the bow on what has been a complete performance, Charles. They're pitching a shutout on the other side in this offense. They've done their thing well, too.
Yeah, this game has been all-out effort from them on every snap, and there's a good amount of pride on the line right now. They want to finish what they started. They want this shutout preserved.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch.
Fields hit and the ball is loose. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0.
Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late fourth quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the point.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter. Big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter, but do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Now Fields. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This is fielded at the 27.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Boy, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for Philadelphia, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Just like I've been smooth for so long, I'm trying to get rough. Buffing my nails, dog, I'm trying to get buff. Shaping my beard up, I'm liking the scruff. The hills, cause I'm living my life in the cut. Can't imagine that I'm gonna meet my wife in the club. We gon' see though, I feel like she more of a CEO.